What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zachary Smith, back with another video, 2024 NFL Draft Talk. Mike Sainristil out of Michigan is who we're going to be looking at today. One of my favorite players in the draft. I think he's going to be an absolute demon out of the slot at the NFL level. As you can tell by the thumbnail, slot blitz demon. 5'9", 182, tested out of this world at the combine. I thought it really elevated his stock. I think he was already a guy that was getting like late day two buzz. Actually, probably even early round three he could go, but either way, maybe even sneaks into round two at this point with the way that he tested. Redshirt senior, does have the versatility. He has played outside at times. I know at 5'9", I don't know how many teams are going to give him a shot at the boundary, but I think he would be awesome in the slot. I think within, by year two, we're talking about one of the better nickels in the NFL. Three-star recruit going into Michigan, converted receiver. And, that happened after Dax Hill left to go to the NFL draft. They were looking for a replacement, obviously, for him, somebody to play in the nickel. Enter Mike Sainristil, who took over that spot, and he was awesome for them. So we're going to take a look at some cut-ups that I got here on him, go through why he's one of my favorite players in the class. As we get into this, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a player down below if you would like me to take a look at them and go through some of these. I do have some other guys, and this Ray Straw is on the ledger, Edgerrin Cooper, Junior Colson, Malachi Corley. But other than that, other than the ones that I got in the bank, anybody else that you guys would like to see me talk about, hit me up and I'll see if I can get a video up for them talking about them and get some cut ups of them. But yeah, we'll work through this here and let me know what you guys think. All right, so yeah, right away, and this one hurts going against Ohio State here, but nonetheless, as you can see, definitely a guy that is going to be willing to come up and help out and run support. Never have to question that about him, laying the boom and letting you know it. The competitive edge that he plays with is evident on film every single play. He'll get in there on the quarterback. He'll make plays around the line of scrimmage. I'm going to pause it here just to go over some notes that I saw upon first watch. I thought he was excellent at squeezing opponents to the boundary, regardless of where the alignment is. Fantastic in run defense, takes great angles, ability to block, shed, really good pad level. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Slot blitz demon, I kind of already mentioned that. I think what he would offer from that standpoint, as Steelers fans, if there are Steelers fans that watch my content, or, if you're not a Steelers fan, you know that I am a Steelers fan. He talked about Mike Hilton and said that he was somebody that he actually reached out to when he took over as the starting nickel and kind of emulated. I see a lot of that in terms of, the slot blitzes, in terms of what he does in run defense. I think he's better in coverage than Mike Hilton ever was. I think that was probably the one area where he was lacking. So I look at him as somebody that can certainly at the next level provide that for you right away. Really excited about him from that standpoint. I think he has the steam and position versatility. He's played in some different defenses. Again, he's played inside, he's played outside. Could maybe even do some safety stuff for you. Curious as to how he would get used at the next level. Understands leverage. If guys are trying to take that inside or outside shoulder, seems to, really understand what wide receivers are trying to do. Being a converted wide receiver, I think certainly helps him in that area. Adapts technique well, in his pedal, whether it's an off man or in zone. And that kind of, is that scheme versatility coming into play there. Got patient feet and eyes, knows where the quarterback wants to go, understands again what receivers are trying to do. He just gets it, from the offensive side too. And I think that really helps him and has helped his transition to the defensive side of the football full time. Elite recovery speed or near elite recovery speed. You saw him run that 4.47 at the combine. I thought it was a great time for him. I thought maybe he'd be low 4.5s. To see him get into the 4.4s, I thought was fantastic. And then the hip rotation and fluidity that he's got there. Once again, kind of going into the whole technique and his back pedal, all these things like that, that have really allowed him to excel in his transition to corner. Just a really good athlete, probably, a little bit better than I even expected. Again, when you talk about the way that he jumped and ran at the combine, kind of putting on a show and performing better than a lot of people thought that he would, including myself. But you see him there, there's that slot blitz. They really dial things up well at Michigan. Mike McDonald, despite going to Baltimore last season, they were still running a similar defense to the one that he had there. So you look at what he was able to do last year and just the usage of him, understanding strengths of all these guys. When I watched Junior Colson, that is when honestly Mike Sainristil still kind of jumped off the page to me, and I was like, I gotta get a closer look at this guy. I love that celebration, by the way. Um, but yeah, this is another one tracking the ball well, understands where the ball is going. He's not biting on this, gets off his man, comes downhill and makes a play. Ton of run support plays are going to be, they're littered throughout this. Don't get me wrong, there's certainly some in coverage as well, but I think, he's made his name to me more so in terms of what he does around the line of scrimmage in the run game. There's a coverage rep for you. And this is against a really good Washington wide receiver core as well. And that's, squeezing the guy to the boundary like I had mentioned before. To me, I had that on here because of the change of direction. He's going full sprint, basically covering his guy to the left, has the transition, get back to the right. He carries this man up the field well here. Penix ends up throwing an incompletion on this. Some more run support plays. Guy tries to kick it out. He's there to clean it up with, a host of Michigan players. Overthrow by Penix here. Sainristil's the guy that intercepts it. And then this to me is kind of where you see, first off, look at that speed. This is what I'm talking about. But, this is where you kind of see that converted wide receiver come out in him, what he does when the ball is in his hands after picking it off. I mean, that's a ton of yards after catch. He turns this thing, he picks it off at about the 12. And look at where he ends up taking this ball all the way back. He should have scored on this, to be honest. Needed one more block right there. He had to slow up a little bit because of that guy. But yeah, that's the last play that's on here. Mike Sainristil, one of my favorite players in this class, despite being a Michigan guy, and I'm not a Michigan guy. But Mike Sainristil, I just think everything that he can offer to an NFL team right off the bat, man, and he just seems like the type of guy that you rally around to. Like from a football perspective, obviously great player. From a non-football perspective, just seems like a guy that you want on every single football team. Like everybody has a spot for Mike Sainristil in their locker room. So yeah, I'm very excited for him. I'm very excited to see where he lands in this draft. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that he goes as early as round 2, or does he slip a little bit into round 3? You'll have to let me know on that because I'm very curious. It's one of the things that I'm really going to be monitoring as the draft gets closer. But let me know what you think. Again, let me know any players that you would like for me to watch. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you guys do not miss another video. Mike Sainristil, awesome player. Can't wait to see where he lands in the draft. Again, I'm Zachary Smith, PGH. Follow me on all socials. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.